All right. Welcome to the fourth
Installment.
episode or episode of our podcast, Chills with the Chapmans. Um, Tonight, we have a couple of stories for you guys. As always, the stories are personal stories told to us, via our people, um, submitted, I should say. And I'm just going to dive right in. So, this is a personal one for me. Um, I have, two children, and we have a son who has talked about knowing of different, I guess, of a different family. When he was younger, he would describe to me like of having a mom that just looked different. I guess he would say she was like a different color. Like, so he would tell me she was like either this purple or this red or pinkish color. And but I always took it like a grain of salt. But he always was kind of adamant when it came to his family that we look different than his other families, and stuff to that extent. Moving forward, he would have like these crying fits when it came to like my husband, his dad, just saying that he scared him and all of these extra things. So, he eventually kind of grew out of that as he got older. And recently he started to talk about angels and God and stuff like that. Um, Anybody that know us know we are not like really religious to that point. Um, are religious, I'm baptized, things like that. But, we don't speak about that to the point where, and he came out and he was just speaking about angels, and he was saying how to him God just was a little bit, his thing, his light around him was a different color than the angels' lights, but everybody was just had this bright light around them, but their light was a little different. And all of this stuff that just describing it just sounded amazing to me because I just could not fathom that. Of course, he said that he was having these dreams about it, but he would only specifically talk to me at different points throughout the day about this, and this went on for like 2 3 days, maybe even like up to 2 weeks, and he hasn't had any bursts like that since of speaking about God or angels or anything like that. But I just found that so intriguing that he was able just to describe, like I said, how angels look to him. Um, I think he said that most of them were bald. Like the ones that he saw, they were bald, but they had this light on top of their heads. And then, like I said, he
Maybe
said
the
that
halo.
God had a different light around him that was different from everybody else. It was another time we was watching a commercial, and he was just like, he had said something in reference to angels or God, like that's what God, something, 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 and we just kind of looked at each other like, oh, okay, because like I said, they don't play a lot of godly type stuff, religious stuff on TV, you know what I mean, or even movies. So I just found that, like I said, very intriguing to me that he was speaking about that. And then, like I said, I have a friend that is considered a sensitive, and she specifically said that either way, even if he was just having these dreams about it, that's kind of very rare for anyone to even have dreams like that, and to be able to describe certain things. Like she said, that's not a thing that everybody gets to experience. So it was even, well, noises started already. It probably was one of my kids though, but that seemed to always happen anytime I'm doing one of these lives. It's always something that's making a noise, something falling in our house. But anyway, so she was just basically saying that that was very different. It was an amazing thing that he was able to express that and even have those types of visits or messages to that extent. And I just found that just amazing as well. Like I said, he hasn't talked about it since, but he was very adamant for these 2 weeks, just describing the different details about angels and God and different stuff like that. And I just found that just so amazing because, like I said, we were just speaking about random stuff, like it wasn't even nothing about God or religion, and he would just come off the top and change the subject, and it was just got very spiritual quick. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was my first story that I kind of wanted to tell you guys. Just that we've had some experiences with my son, other than me having my own personal dream about heaven and the phone calls and things like that. I have never personally had another dream like that, and I have not since I've had that dream about heaven or anything like that. So I just and my husband has never had a heaven dream. So kind of going back to what my friend who is a sensitive in her own way kind of said, it's very rare, and not everyone gets to experience that or even have those types of dreams. And I do think that that's pretty rare, because I know that a lot of us think about it, regardless of our religion, of what happens next and things like that. And it's very rare that we would actually, no matter how much we think about it, because we know that's one of the things that scientists and other people think is the reason why we have dreams that we do is because something is sitting on our mind, and whatever, some things manifest into other stuff. Like, for instance, you're afraid of snakes. You may not always have a dream about, snakes in your, dream biting you and killing you, but it may be friends, and they may be like seething out at you and, doing stuff that's snake-like. But the whole point was you was afraid of snakes, and you've been thinking about snakes biting you because you just moved to this state that got 1,000 snakes. You know what I'm saying? So, it is very rare. I agree that you don't really get to have dreams like that. And I know that we all have had them thoughts of what happens next, and, situations like that. And not everybody goes to sleep and have dreams like that, or if they do, they don't remember them in detail. So the fact that my son was able to kind of just describe those glows and just things like that to me, just telling me it was different colors. They were different colors of people. It wasn't just one person. It wasn't just one color. That those types of details, I feel like, especially when kids don't really remember dreams at all, like I said, him just going into detail was just amazing to me. So I was very, very excited to hear that. And then when I told her to get that kind of like validation, like, okay, so because I definitely felt like it was something more. Like, the whole atmosphere in the room changed once he started to talk about angels and God and stuff like that, and I just felt like he really experienced something great. So I hope that he can continue to have those types of spiritual visits, and maybe God will continue to give him those gifts and those peaks.
I said, I was told at a young age that I could see spirits, and even to this day I'm still told that I have some type of psychic ability. I don't know what it is yet or what it is, but like I said, so, I mean, you have your abilities too, so it's bound to be passed down to somebody.
Absolutely. But I mean, King is...
I'll let this be one of my stories. I remember this one day I was going to get a pizza from Little Caesars, and this guy was in there, and, like, you could tell when somebody is not from your place just because of the way they are dressed. Like, they kind of dressed out of place. This person was dressed out of place. And he stopped me and he said, and like, we was having a conversation. He was like, you have a power, don't you? I'm like, huh? Like, kind of like lost. He like, you must have some type of psychic with you. I'm like, I was told that before, yeah. And he was like, you got 2 kids? I'm like, yeah. I think I told you the story. He like,
yeah.
One of your kids, it have ability. have. I forgot what he said, how he said it. I don't know how they said in like a. It's like they say it in a. It was a different way he said it. It wasn't. He didn't say power or paranormal ability. He said something else. I can't think of this word, but he said that, and I'm like, yeah. And I remember coming home and I'm like, it's gotta be her. It's gotta be her, cause she the only one that had the, but it's him.
Those near death experiences. I know that a lot of people um, probably have heard from watching like different shows and stuff that a lot of people,
Gifted.
yeah, become gifted, by hereditary. That's one way. And then another way is like near death experiences. And as everybody know or don't know, London had a very dicey arrival on Earth, and I just always assumed that it was her. That probably would if she did have any type of gifts or abilities. Um, I just always assumed that it would be her for sure, only because of that near death experience. I'm just like, yeah, gotta be London. But a lot of things, once I actually got pregnant with my son, it seemed to like pick up once I was more pregnant with him. I never really experienced anything with London at all. I can't even say that I did. I didn't experience anything with her. Nothing. That was like out of the ordinary. But I always tell people, including my friend that I speak to, that when I met my husband, it was very, 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 very. It was a happy time for me, but it was just got strange quick. A lot of things, like where we were staying, would go missing. That didn't go missing until my husband moved back in with me, and we started to stay together. And like I said, I was pregnant with my son. A lot of things would just go missing, or just a lot of odd stuff would just start, and it just picked up more and more and more. So now that we're into this, and for the long haul, it seems like it progresses a lot.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. I just got the yawning. I've been working nonstop, so you got to excuse me. But it just seems like a lot of things have progressed more over these last couple of years with just things, whether it's my children experience and stuff, whether it's us seeing things. So this episode is just more so about us just kind of explaining more and more about why we're, going to be doing this and why we choose to do this. And I just hope
understand better.
Right. I hope to get more submissions, guys. Next Friday, we'll have a couple of more stories for you guys, but I did want to just top that off and give a couple of stories in. But I wanted you guys to know this is going to be a quick video, but we just appreciate everyone that is listening and everyone that will listen in the future. We really started this because, I just kind of had this thought of, what? Like I always say, I've had experiences, as this regular, black girl in, in Ohio, in the inner city. I'm having these experiences and I'm watching this stuff play out with these people on TV, and whether they could be fabricating things or not, I know a lot of people that I hang around are more like me. So we all have these experiences that whether we want to talk about or not,
Connected
we have.
to weird things.
Absolutely. And these things are, like I said, we watch Chillz with the Chapmans, are things that are just kind of unexplained no matter how much we try to explain them. And that unexplained can be borderline paranormal. Or if you just don't want to even use that word, you could just still say it's unexplained. But either way, it's unexplained, it's paranormal, it's creepy. So I decided with my husband, like, let's put together this little podcast thing or whatever you want to call it, unofficially podcast, and just kind of get some of those people's stories out, get our stories out there, see if we can get you guys to engage with us and share some of your stories as well, to just kind of get that paranormal community out here, or if, like I said, if you don't like that word, this unexplained community out here, so that people will just know it comes at all ages, it happens to all types of people, all walks of life, and this stuff really really happens,
Yeah.
so it, that's my main reason for doing it. And then I like paranormal stuff. I like scary. I'm a big horror fan. My birthday is around that time, so I like to play it up. I like to be scared. I like the idea, and I don't think I would have ever liked the idea if I did not have some form of something happen to me. Like, it just intrigues me. It intrigues me enough to not dabble where I don't belong, but it intrigues me enough to where I still want to learn more. I have to learn more. So, I just think that this channel, like I said, is just a way of me expressing myself, getting everybody's voices out there for people that are more afraid to kind of come forth, tell stories, and engage. I know a lot of people are. But I hope to have more engagement. I hope to have people on soon, in the next couple months or the next year or so,
Yeah.
and kind of just grow this Chills with the Chapmans podcast to wherever it could go, how far it could go, where it's no telling where it could take us. So I'm just trying to create a community of like-minded people that's like us, that can come on, and even if you want to come on and still debunk, quote unquote, some stuff, you can you feel free to come on and say what you need to say, but do what you need to do. And we look forward to seeing y'all and having y'all on. But anyway, moving forward, one of the last little ones that I'm going to tell personally, not my personal story, but that I'm going to tell, is just when I was in massage school. So when I was in massage school, we were making these. Making our group, I should say, making our group so we can chat, study, kind of, feed off one another, and just kind of get the overall vibe, I should say. And we had this little group chat, and I was just asking, I just wanted to, ask, like, what was some of the things that brought you guys to becoming a massage therapist, yada, yada, yada. And one of my, peers, we were just talking about things, and one of my peers had said how, she has always had certain experiences as well, and while dealing with, I think she said an ex or whatever, the ex's mom actually visited her in her sleep. And I don't think that she's ever dreamed of this lady before. And she said the next day she found out that she had actually passed away.
Wow.
So I thought that was just an amazing kind of thing. And then she was like, I'll say the rest for later. We never kind of brought that up. So I hope that I can actually get her on here, or, able to kind of delve deeper into that story for next time for you guys. But yeah, she said that, she dreamed of this lady and she came to her. And I can't remember if she said she spoke to her or not, but she saw her in this dream, and then the next day that she kind of found out. So I just thought that was just amazing. Like I said, I've never had a personal experience like that, and we recently just had someone else pass away that we knew, and I just kind of find it just amazing that these people get these experiences to kind of be able to tell their goodbyes or their whatever. I love hearing stories like that. That type of stuff just fascinates me to death. So yeah, I just found that really amazing. I thought it was just very, very heartfelt, because that was a positive visit. It was a very needed visit as well. So, nothing negative with that one, and that can't be explained. That was just something that she had happened, and like I said, I hope that I can get more clarification with her story for next Friday. Any last little stories you want to tell for the night, or you want to just kind of do some closing remarks and we can kind of
No, 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 not really, cause I don't really have no stories that's gonna be um quick telling right now.
okay.
So
All right, well, as I said before, this platform is a safe space for any and everyone to tell their tales, or they can be retold by us, and you can remain, anonymous. That's fine. But I look forward to everyone liking, subscribing, following us at our various pages. We do numerous things. I'm a massage therapist, a medical massage therapist. Um,
I'm an ordained minister. I'm a notary. I make T-shirts and hoodies and stuff, but we do that.
and our family
So,
also has a children's book called um, The Roaring for Autism Family Presents K-Rex, and it is
hmm
available on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles. Where books are sold, and it's an awesome book. Just very, very wholesome. It just teaches children what they need to learn at this of people with differences. Just kind of teaching that acceptance and everything like that. But yeah, I just definitely wanted to add that in. We got my husband's a notary. He's a wedding officiant. Notary public. So. And I'm a massage therapist, so we have these trades and these
yep.
businesses as well. Common people, and like I said, and even common people can have these experiences that we are not always comfortable with speaking about. So that's why I said we made this podcast, because this is a way for us just to express and tell our real life true accounts in our own words what happened, and then to also share other people's that may not
hmm
necessarily want to tell it, or finally want to get it out there to see if anybody else has had these common occurrences
Yeah.
or things like that. So I look forward to seeing and speaking with everyone um, next Friday, and the Chapmans are out,
Next
guys.
Friday, I'll tell you all about our experience where we think we may have had an experience with a Bigfoot.
Oh yes, we were supposed to share that this week, but I think it's best saved for next Friday when I have more energy and just more able to kick it with you guys. So thank you for listening to this very short and quick podcast. We are out.